So, as you guys can see, we are going to play Keyframes again. We started this on my birthday last year, and I'm now going to circle back to it. Where we last left off with Keyframes, we had already met Percy and Jamie, two of the love interests. We still hadn't met the final love interest, who I believe we're going to be meeting today at the picnic that the student council is putting on. Should be fun. All right, I'm excited. I will read the game's description to you guys because why not? All right, it says, after chance meetings in your second year of college, decide how you want to spend the last 2 years of undergrad with your friends, both old and new, in this partially customizable Amare visual novel. All right, let's play some Keyframes. Let's load. You can see my old save files from 2024. I was instructed not to click on those because they will break the game. So we're gonna click on the one for my birthday and start there. All right. So we're at the barbecue that the student council is putting on, and we about to have some fun, guys. You left through the back door, making sure to lock it behind you. Immediately, you were hit by a wave of sound, chatter and clatter in equal measures as students hustled back and forth across the lawn. Geez, you knew Raina went hard on the school-sanctioned events, but you didn't think she'd go this far for a trial run. And speaking of, skirting around groups of other students, you looked high and low, circling around the most crowded parts of the yard. Toward the back, the property transitioned into a riverbank, and it was there that you spotted Raina standing under a grand willow tree with her hand to her chin. There she was. Time to check in. Prank. You tiptoed over, watching for twigs and stones in the grass. As you went, Raina was staring contemplatively over the water, and as you got just close enough, you shrieked as loud as you could. You whispered in her ear. You puffed cold breath on her neck. I whispered in her ear. Raina, it's me, the ghost of barbecues past. She visibly shivered, whirled with a hand clapped to her ear as she held in a screech. The fuck, Sonny? Hey. First of all, never do that again, or take me to brunch first. Oh, okay. I'll think about it. Okay, so how'd everything go? Raina regarded you with a concerned tilt of her head, her smile cooling a little. I heard there was an interruption, maybe? Yeah, but it was pretty quick. I get why you were worried, though. Uh-huh. Anyway, your friend said he'd definitely be done on time, and that's why I'm back. You were careful not to state said friend's name out loud. Raina arched an eyebrow, and a knowing glint entered her eye as she held her hand out for you to return her spare key. And how'd you get along with that friend of mine? Let's see. The rumors were right. That man was unfairly hot, and you were thankful for it. Whatever the rumors said, he'd been kind of cold, mean even. Actually, he was really nice this time around. Raina had put it best. He was skittish, and for good reason. You were a little relieved and a little bemused by how normal he'd been. You were a little relieved. You'd helped him because Raina asked you to, and you didn't really care for his company past that. That's mean. He was skittish, and for good reason. At first, I didn't get why he wanted to keep the door shut, but then, yeah. You know, that kind of thing, people getting in his space, happens to him a lot. He's developed a kind of sixth sense for avoiding it. Well, you were gone a while, so I'll trust you're the reason he'll do just fine. Thanks. Raina clapped her hands softly together, bobbing on her feet as she slipped back into administration mode. There's one more thing. Cam's getting the food started, so you can join them and help man the grills for a while. The grills? Suddenly, Raina's smile looked a lot more nefarious. You do know about. I do. I'm of the opinion they deserve as many chances to improve as it takes. Raina. And besides, I'm sending you to look after them, aren't I? You're an enabler. Always. Now go, before they burn something. You were off like a shot, zipping between tables and students while trying to keep a calm face. Cameron wasn't a bad cook at all. The problem was they'd be working near an open flame. You wouldn't go so far as to say they were a pyromaniac, but, well, they tended to call fires pretty, and they had a fondness for staring right into them. Oh my gosh, no, the flames they call Cameron. You could smell coals catching. Oh no, skidding onto the scene, you whipped an accusatory finger up to point at the certain ill-assigned grill master. Step away from the grill, Cameron. Cameron yelped, spinning around with their hands and a pair of tongs held towards the sky. Sonny, I was just... Shush, I've caught you gasoline-handed. My hands are clean. It was a figure of speech. Also, you know you can't be 5 feet near an open flame. The Magma Carta binds us all, not the Magma Carta. Aw, you don't have to invoke that, do you? The grill covers the fire, so... They deflated with a dramatic sigh, peeking at you with furtive hope. You, Deja, and Cam had a number of binding agreements between you, thanks to various incidents over the past 2 years. The Magma Carta was one of the more serious ones. That didn't mean there wasn't room for leniency, of course. You just had to be sure it was safe leniency. Well, the good news is Raina sent me to help you. Just promise to take this seriously. Cam's eyes sparkled and they pressed a curled fist to their chest, nodded, and turned to find you an apron. You were officially on the line, with trusty Cameron as your head chef. And we're off. Fire at will. Just kidding. Okay, Cam is so pretty. Kebabs and burger patties hit the grates with a chorus of happy hisses, and Cameron clicked their tongs gleefully. The air quickly filled with the smell of cooking meat, and volunteers all over the yard started to perk up. Food hitting the grill, of course, meant that prep time was winding down, and the party would be starting soon. The end was within sight, or within scent. Now, we're at a barbecue. Sonny, grab me that tray. You got it. With your own pair of tongs, you piled skewers and patties in rows, swapping out trays as you needed. Cameron flipped a fresh batch on right afterwards, and working together, you had the first of several buffet tables stocked in no time. Then came the vegetarian options. The mixed skewers, the hot dogs, the buns. Tray by tray, stack by stack, you worked in tandem, trading easy jokes and laughs under the cheerful spring sun. Ahem, it's time, people. We're gonna have guests arriving soon. The squeak of a megaphone drew your eye to where Raina stood, waving one hand overhead as she waited for everyone to turn her way. She wore a wide, brave smile, and the crowd naturally hushed as the student government waited for its president to speak. No time for pep talks. I appreciate you all for being here, and I have no doubt this is gonna be a great event. Let's keep our heads in the game, but let's also have fun, okay? Now on 3, we all scream, "Let's go, chickadees!" 1, 2, let's go, chickadees! And the party was on. The volunteers dispersed with loud cheers, and music started to play from speakers set up on the lawn. There was an answering cheer from outside, and the first guest came through the gate in droves. Welcome, everyone. I know I asked you to come hungry, but give our crew a little more time, and that way we'll have something ready for everyone. Dance, play, run, have fun. Go on. Raina's voice blared through the megaphone once more, effortlessly steering all the new arrivals away and saving you and Cameron from an untimely, ignoble end. You glanced at each other with rueful grins, but before you could pick up the next tray, the SGB Prez herself popped up right next to you. Hello, my little helpers. In a flash, she held both sets of tongs in her hands, clicking them as she nudged you both aside. I'd say you've earned your freedom. Finally! Yes, I released thee. With a quick celebratory high five, you and Cameron set about untying your aprons. May you remember this lesson, my reformed friends. The next time you guys think about cheating, don't. That or we should be better liars. Hear ye, hear ye. I love Cameron. I'm still right here. We're kidding, Ray. Mostly. Hey, Nako. Deja should be around the fire pit. If you're looking for her, go play, frolic, so forth. Frolic? It's a large backyard. Do what your heart desires. Now, be gone. With a final wave of her scepter, tongs, Raina turned back to the grill. Newly dismissed, you and Cameron hustled back towards the riverbank, circling around the crowds until you reached an area strewn with lawn chairs. Deja was right at the center, lounging with her bare feet kicked up on the edge of the unlit fire pit. Deja! The two of you broke into a run, one after the other. You skidded onto your knees and flopped over Deja's legs, looking up at her like a pair of adoring, oversized puppies. I forgot how pretty Deja was. Oh my gosh, gorgeous, like absolutely stunning. We missed you. I feel very loved, but can you get off, please? While you claimed the second lawn chair, Deja lowered her head, a faint frown crossing her face. Cameron, why do you smell like smoke? Because I was cooking. She raised a single eyebrow and Cameron sat up to pass the buck, scrambling away to perch on your armrest with a mischievous laugh. Sunny was supervising. Yeah, I stole a whole thing of charcoal for later. Seriously? I'm kidding, Raina put us both on grill duty for a bit. Ugh. And before that, I was helping prep the food too, putting all the skewers together and stuff. You didn't get a break after moving the groceries? I got like 5 minutes, I swear. If we'd been caught actually cheating, I don't even want to think about it. What were you up to, Sunny? I was indoors decorating cupcakes. What? That sounds more like fun than work. Not necessarily. I'm going to guess it was an unholy amount of cupcakes. Something like that. The impulse flickered briefly into your head to reveal who you'd been helping, but before you could raise the point, Cameron stretched out on the grass with a cozy sigh. Whew. Well, we finally get a little downtime. Deja, how about you? Your roommate grimaced gently, gesturing down at where her heels lay abandoned under her chair. After I was done delegating, Raina asked me to bring care packages to her neighbors to apologize for all the party noise. I guess that gave her more time to sneak around and reset the scavenger hunt too. We are unfortunately playing on the level. Hey, check it out, 10 o'clock. Oh my gosh, it's one of the love interests, finally! You glance casually to one side, spotting two people setting up a volleyball net on the riverbank. Nearby, a third person stacked spare cases of drinks, establishing the corners of the makeshift court. I hate to say it, but that looks like a safety issue. They're all adults. Besides, it looks like they know what they're doing. As Deja waved a hand lazily, one of the strangers spun the volleyball in their hands, laughing at something their friends were saying. It certainly did look like they were in their element. Why haven't we ever played volleyball? Huh, that was a joke, right? I'm gonna assume it was a joke. Deja's easygoing smile chilled, and you smothered a small chuckle. Did you forget who you're hanging with? Deja doesn't do sports. Emphatically, for multiple reasons. Cameron shrugged, absent-mindedly ripping up a handful of grass to fiddle with. Come on, volleyball's fun. What's so fun about it? You know what? When I first started watching Haikyuu, I had it in my head that I would love playing volleyball. I did not. It was not a fun experience for me. I gave it up fairly quickly. I will leave all the jumping and running after balls to Hinata and Kageyama and co, because I'm not an athletic girly. All sports are the same. You run around, you sweat, you go home. It's way more than that. For one thing, the players are in different positions and everyone's got their own strengths. So you have to build a team first. And then you're down to things like, okay, are you a quick tempo team or are you built around your libero? Around your what? Your Noya. And then if you're an aggressive team, what happens if your rivals are aggressive too? Or what if they're really defensive? Then you've got to adjust on the fly, and the whole time you've got to keep the ball moving, like boom and bam and swoop. Okay, Cameron is our Hinata for sure, because Hinata in Haikyuu talks just like this in sound effects. Cameron, where is this coming from? How come you know so much about volleyball now? Anime. Yes. Cameron, that's anime. In real life, I'm gonna sit in the shade and I'm gonna relax. Aw, it's just volleyball. At least it's not, I don't know, soccer? You laugh softly to dispel the rising tension, and Deja gave you a sharp look before her expression softened into something calmer. Cameron had caught on as well, and they eased off the pressure, turning to you instead with a rueful shrug. Wait, have you actually played before? I haven't. I've tried. I'm not good. Oh, then could you play with me sometime? I mean, not today. Maybe fate was listening, though, since in the next instant you heard rapid footfalls on soft grass. Running up to you was one of the volleyball players, the one who'd had the ball.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my gosh, they sound so cute! With a stranger in the mix, Cameron immediately clammed up. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice them slipping down to sit awkwardly on their hands, shredded grass and all. You and Deja settled smoothly into your respective roles without missing a beat. We're doing great. How are you?
Oh, yeah. I'm Elio, he/him.
Hi, Elio! Elio's so cute. He stuck a hand out, and you took it for a brief shake. Nice to meet you, Elio. I'm Sunny. She, her pronouns. That's Deja.
She, her, thanks.
And this is Cameron, they, them. Cameron meekly nodded, not quite making eye contact as they mustered a small smile.
Nice to meet you all. So, hey.
Elio jabbed a thumb over his shoulder, pointing to the volleyball court with a bright grin.
My buddies and I are gearing up for a game, and, well, 2-on-1 isn't exactly an even match.
That's real.
Any chance you three would want to play? Just for fun, no points.
Maybe?
Unless you want them.
At the glint in his eye, you had half a feeling he actually preferred to play for points no matter what he said. Oh my gosh, I love the little bear ears on the hat. They're so cute. He looks so cute. Here was Cameron's golden opportunity, practically falling into your laps. But when you looked at them, Cam was staring down at their legs, looking a little shaky. Tell you what, give us a quick minute to decide.
No prob. You know where to find me.
Okay. Okay, so what was that, Cam? Cameron, are you okay? Yeah, never mind. I changed my mind. Hands fisted in the hem of their hoodie, Cameron kept staring straight down at their feet, all traces of earlier excitement snuffed completely out. Oh no. Cam, if this is because... No, I know you don't like sports. Forget I said anything. I got carried away. I don't... It's fine. We can sit. I don't want to play. Okay. You and Deja exchanged silent looks. It was never easy seeing Cameron freeze up like this. They were an effervescent, sincere person, always ready to have fun, but they were also a huge wallflower, whose anxiety often forced them to stay on the sidelines at larger events. It was unfortunately very easy to guess that they were mentally kicking themselves for backing down. Aw, Cam, it's okay. I think we all kind of get like that sometimes, you know? This time when you looked at Deja, you made a slightly pleading face. Well, it's a party. Better Reina's backyard than an actual gym. The fact that she was even considering it was a major concession, but one you knew she'd be willing to make. She was a strong-willed person, and you loved her for it, but Deja was never one to crush a friend's wishes outright. The problem was that this particular wish involved physical exertion, which Deja loathed with perfect simplicity. Cameron was already backtracking, and so, as a friend to them both, you merely had to contribute a little change of perspective. Okay, how about this? What are the odds we play volleyball today? Deja paused, tilting her head with a thoughtful sound. More importantly, Cameron paused too, and they actually peeked up at you, starting to look cautiously interested. 3? 3? Man. Could be worse. At least it's not a 2. A 33% chance is still 33 more than I'd prefer, but... She shrugged gracefully, shedding her veneer of hesitation and sliding her hair back over one shoulder. Them's the rules. Them's the rules. Them's the rules. I love their friendship. Okay. Though we've given you the option to play through Keyframes events as reluctantly as you wish, sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone to enjoy what life has to offer. What Are the Odds, or WATO, is a game you, Deja, and Cam play in the name of trying new things. Based on the results of this mini-game, your character may participate in a follow-up event. For example, during the barbecue, your character asked Cam to play Wato to determine if the trio should play volleyball. Heads up, we've rigged that moment as an example, but when it's your turn to be prompted, we won't rig the results, we promise. Okay. Here are 2 ways for Wato to start. You prompt someone to play, the character prompts you. The prompter asks what are the odds of an action that they want to see the prompted do. The prompted gives a number between 1 and 10. The higher the number, the lower the chances. Oh. The 2 count down and then say a number between 1 and the response, 1 and 5. Okay. If they choose the same number, the prompted has to do what was asked of them. If they didn't, then nothing happens. Should I save? Yeah, I should save. Okay. Okay, so Cam, it's you and me. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. A number between 1 and 3. Let's go with 2? Oh my gosh! It's the same number! Of course it is. Well, well, well. Oh, nice. Before they could help themselves, they hopped, finding some of that excitement from earlier as they let a laugh out unbidden. To the side, Deja smiled and shook her head. It was impossible to be upset if they were going to be this endearing about it. For the record, you don't have to back down when it comes to us. I know, I just didn't want to push you. It's not fun if I'm the only one who wants to be there. You gonna be okay? They took a breath, then let go of their hoodie, nodding as they lifted their head. Yeah, I want to try. I have both of you, so it's not as terrifying, I think. Then let's go and do our best. Yeah. As you moved towards the volleyball net, one of Elio's friends caught sight of you first, lifting an arm for a friendly wave. At that, Elio turned to face you wearing a wide, beaming grin.
Hey, you want to play after all.
Yes. Count us in.
That's great. Let's get some quick intros out of the way.
Okay.
Gang, these are our opponents. Opponents, meet the gang.
I like that shadow. It's kind of hot. It's wearing a hoodie. Not exactly the best introduction, but it's a start. One of the gang was standing off to one side, apparently spacing out, but the other redheaded with freckles stepped up with another small wave. In the same movement, they plucked the volleyball out of Elio's hands, ignoring his little sound of protest. I'm Rory. I'm this guy's RA.
Come on. You're not just my RA.
Okay. Dude, I love you, I do. But saying your RA is your friend is like asking your parent to take you to prom. Okay, Rory's not wrong.
What? No. You're still my friend.
Aww, Elio is so sweet. Until your actual buddies get here, sure. And this? Oh my god, it's a Megane. I'm already in love. They leaned over, looping the third student under their arm and tugging them closer. It's Keegan. Both of us prefer he, they pronouns, and Keegs uses they a little more often. I love that they specify the pronouns and what everyone prefers as part of their intros. As someone who was an RA over the summer, too true. You know, one of my RAs actually became a really good friend of mine in undergrad. We had the same birthday and everything. It was crazy. So, I mean, you can be friends with your RAs. They're people too. I'm listening. Sometimes you are, buddy. Sometimes you are. Keegan rolled their eyes gently before tilting their head at you. What's up? This game, I guess. The sky, some clouds, birds probably. Shall I go on? A better question is, what's down? AKA, you guys after this game. Okay, that one.
Oh God. That was painful.
Yes, but it was great. It was glorious. There's two of you now, so I'm looking forward to this.
You know, I can tell when you're being sarcastic.
Me? Sarcastic? Never. Elio swiped quickly for the ball, and Rory stuck their arm out of the way before sticking their tongue out and dropping the ball into Elio's waiting hand.
So, simple game of keepy-uppy? Or do we want to play for points?
Okay, you the competitive type. I could see the glint in Elio's eyes at the prospect of playing for points.
Fair warning though, I'm not bragging, but if we play for real, I'll win.
Oh, really? Way to keep your teammates in mind, kiddo.
Okay, you can share in the title, but the crown's still mine.
Okay. There was that grin in his eye again, a hint of competitive spirit hidden by that easygoing smile. Your ass is grass, and I've got a weed whacker. That is so corny. I love it. Elio cocked his head to one side, spinning the volleyball into a tri-colored blur between his hands.
So, we're doing smack talk, huh? That mean you want to play for points?
Let's do it. Deja's eyes drilled a hole in the back of your head, but you held firm, putting a hand on your hip as you faced Elio with a confident smile. In times like these, it was important not to hesitate. Oop, better get your head in the game, Keegs. Looks like we're playing for keeps. Fun. Elio chuckled, the sound rumbling deep in his chest as he lowered his head. His next smile was toothier, shadowed by a mix of exuberance and ambition.
Then, why don't we play a full set? First to 25 points wins.
Okay. You're on. Let's go.
All right. Then first serve's all yours.
All right. Elio lobbed the ball underhand, sending it in a high, slow arc. You caught it with a low oomph, moving to the back line of the court as Elio, Rory, Keegan ducked under the net. So what now? I have to reiterate, I really don't know what I'm doing here. Sunny, are you gonna be a blocker or a king? What? A king? Yeah, wait, nope. That was an anime thing. This is definitely a Haikyuu reference. We are so screwed. Let's see. You still got me. Between my skills and Cameron's smarts, I think we've got this in the bag. Let's just focus on having fun. Let's see. Losing helps with character development, you know? Only losers say that. Let's see. Between my skills and Cameron's smarts, I think we've got this in the bag. Don't forget Deja's endless optimism.
Hey, you ready yet over there? Or are you guys getting cold feet?
I'm gonna win. Elio was stooped in the back half of his side of the court, with Rory in the opposite corner. Keegan idled up front with a much more relaxed posture, though even his eyes were trailing you, waiting quietly for you to make a move. You wish. Quickly, you cobbled together a rough strategy. Your friends would be closer to the net, Deja to set and Cameron to block and spike. You'd have to cover the rest on your own. Standing at the back line, you tossed the ball up once, then twice, testing its weight, then shifted your weight into a familiar stance. The ball spun a little in your grasp as you searched for the right grip.
Looks like someone knows how to play.
That a problem? Yup, I'm gonna make you wish I didn't.
Is that supposed to scare me?
Oh, it should. If that didn't, then this might. Oh gosh, not quick time events! Alright guys, I think I can do this. Taking a small running start, you lobbed the ball straight up. It caught a spin, rotating as it fell, and... oh gosh. Your hand met the ball with a hearty smack, and it flew neatly over the net, spinning furiously as it plunged towards the ground. Ha-ha! For all his eagerness, Elio twisted too far as he moved to receive, and the ball smacked cleanly off his bicep, bouncing clear out of bounds.
Holy shit! Nice kill!
Right! Cameron spun for a high five, introversion completely forgotten as they let out a victorious scream. Deja even clapped for you a few times, her earlier reluctance replaced by a small, satisfied smirk. Suck it. Elio laughed easily as he returned to the court, volleyball tucked safely under one arm.
Okay, I admit you got me there. Now, let me even the score.
All right, babe, let's do it. Then the grin on his face sharpened, and without waiting another second, he tossed the ball for a serve and rushed forward. His arm came down like a warhammer. If your serve had sounded like a smack, his was a booming crack of sheer force, and the ball flashed by you in a blur, slamming into the grass right in front of the boundary line.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, we're screwed. There it is. Come on, Elio. I thought you were going to give them a fighting chance.
Just our luck. Our first volleyball game is against literal, actual Hercules.
I'm okay with this. It's, no, we've got this.
Do we, bestie? Do we?
Yes, bestie. After a few more volleys and some near misses, you found a clunky but steady improving rhythm. Come on, is that all you guys got? You slapped a hand on your thigh, dropping into a half squat as the ball rolled out of bounds on Elio's side again. He laughed openly, backing up into the corner with a shrug. Save your energy, the game's not over yet. This time, he tossed the ball up for a floating serve, and a fraction of a second after his hand connected, the ball slammed into your side of the court, sending up a comical puff of dirt and grass. That could have been my face. 25 points was no walk in the park. The match wore on, and you tried your hardest to keep the gap between your teams as small as possible. It was admittedly difficult since Rory revealed that he was no amateur either. And with him and Elio trading offensive and defensive, they really had you scurrying across the grass. Keegan was thankfully a lot more lenient. They never strayed from their spots, saving their energy so they could jump, spike, and go idle again. Altogether, the match was fairly even, albeit thanks to different levels of effort. Finally, the game was heading for its natural conclusion. The race was neck and neck. Your team was sitting at 24 points, just a single point ahead. For all your gusto, Deja and Cameron were starting to tire, and you could feel your own energy flagging. Your legs screamed for a break, and you could feel the pulsing in your thumbs from where you kept bouncing the ball back. How about we call it after this last volley? Oh, thank goodness. I mean, if that's what you want. Cameron psyched himself up with a fist stuck in the air, and Deja nodded grimly, her eyes closing as she caught her breath. Then let's make it count. Winner takes all. Man, but we were leading. Not by much. Actually, we're behind by a point. Shh, they don't know that. I do. You ready? Oh gosh. Elio launched the final serve, and the court plunged into slow motion. He leapt, arms swinging. His hand met the ball, and it sailed directly towards the back line where you stood. Oh gosh. Oh no! No! The sun winked at you from behind the cover of the clouds, and you positioned your hands just beneath the ball. But you misjudged the distance. You'd arrived a moment too late, and the ball bounced recklessly to one side, where Deja smacked it clumsily over the net. Elio dove, managing to bump the ball up just in time, tipping it over the net by the barest centimeter, where it thudded to the ground to secure his team's victory. Ah, no! Ah! Elio bellowed, charging his teammates for a series of loud, energetic high fives. Ugh, my hands, my poor volleyball tender hands. Cameron strode up beside you, leaning on your shoulder while Deja walked up on your other side. They've outpowered of friendshipped us. That's true. Impossible. That's the one thing we can't lose. I know, but it's better to say that they're better friends than we are than to say that we're just really uncoordinated. Deja snorted, and the three of you watched as the others held hands and skipped around in a circle. I wish that was a CG. That sounds so funny. Next time, we're challenging them to checkers. At least I'm good at checkers. Ahem. Is this thing on? Food's ready, everyone. Can I get a hell yeah? Like seagulls on a boardwalk, every single person at the party turned. Not like seagulls. By this point, the self-service tables were a mountain range of loaded trays and foil-wrapped goodies, but all eyes were on Raina as she stood with a megaphone in one hand and a spatula in the other. As her entire guest list stared at her in hopeful silence, she rolled her eyes, then brandished her spatula high overhead. I said, can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah, Raina. It wasn't long before the crowd broke into cheers, and just like that, the spell was broken. All right, kids, you better get going. You're not eating? Oh, trust me, I'm eating. I'm just gonna look for my partner first. Aww. I'm gonna bounce too. Gonna wait for the line to calm down a bit. Oh, okay. Thanks for playing, guys. Yeah. If I see our boys, I'll tell them you're in line, yeah? Rory disappeared in one direction and Keegan drifted away in another. Elio turned to the three of you, his smile going a little lopsided as he haphazardly questioned. So, are you getting in line too? I'd be skipping it if I could, so yes. Deja's SGB vice president. She was kind of in charge of setup after Raina. Oh, well, let's grab a spot. I told my friends I'd hold their place too, so that's where they'll know to find me. He didn't seem awkward at all about pulling you into the loop, even if you were still relative strangers. If anything, it looked like he was purposefully waiting for you rather than rushing for a spot in line. Aw, so sweet. That was pretty nice of him. He's a good guy. Again, you just met. This was kind of clingy of him. That seems mean. Honestly, it was cute of him to pay so much attention to you. That was nice of him, but it was basic manners. You didn't think much of it. Again, this game has a lot more choices. It's giving Our Life. I'm not gonna be mean to Elio. Honestly, it was cute of him to pay so much attention to you. This kind of sweet, automatic consideration made him very endearing, even if he'd shown he was just this friendly by default. You couldn't help but smile. All right, let's do it. Quickly, you hustled over, bunching together in between the other students waiting excitedly for their turn. Elio turned to and fro on tiptoes, searching the crowds before he dropped back down with a shrug. Well, if they're not here when we get up there, I'll just grab a little extra of everything. Only a little extra? Elio jolted forward as someone thumped a flat palm between his shoulders. I wonder who it is. Wah! There you are. It's Percy! Guys, it's Percy! Leaning over his shoulder was a familiar stranger with dark hair, their head tilting as they leveled an easy smirk at the rest of you. When their eyes met yours, they lingered, and the smirk widened a centimeter. Hey, you. Oh my gosh. It's Percy. Hi, Percy. Huh? What are the odds? You grinned, lifting a hand for a small wave. Hey. I suppose this is your scooter story from earlier. Your scooter story, huh? You already know Percy? Yep, that's me. He, him, so sounds like you heard what happened. More or less. Something about a rom-com. Deja! Well, in any case, I'm Deja, she, her. This is Cameron, they, them, and you've met Sunny. She, her, by the way. Hey, for real though, sorry about earlier. Huh? I wouldn't, With a gentle clap, he brought his hands together, bending forward slightly, as his smirk was replaced by a genuine apologetic smile. I know I was really joking around, and maybe you thought it was funny, in which case, it's all good, but I'm still gonna apologize. I usually don't go that far when I'm meeting new people. Well, actually I do. Which one is it? I just lay it on real thick if I think I won't meet someone again. It's a bad habit, and I'll own up to that. I mean, it was fun. Whatever impression you have of me, I can only say I'm not like that all the time. Oh well, you don't have to worry about it. It's fine. Never hurts to make sure. It's hard to believe, but sometimes people do get fed up with me. Aw, really? I don't think you have to worry about that this time around. What? You stepped delicately on Deja's foot, and she deigned not to repeat herself. Girl, mind your business. As you reached the front of the line, Elio started passing paper plates down to each of you, looking around one more time as he did. Jamie's not with you? We found a good out-of-the-way spot to eat, so he's holding on to it. It's just us on food duty. Wait, Jamie as in... You let the question slip before you could think about it, and both Percy and Elio looked at you. Probably the one you're thinking about, yeah. It was just coincidence after coincidence, wasn't it? Your luck today was something else. With a small shrug, you looked down, picking up a pair of tongs and sliding a few kebabs onto your plate. Oh, I only meant Raina asked me to help him out earlier. Jamie's here? I asked him if he would be, but he didn't even know the barbecue was happening. Percy and Elio underwent 2 reactions in quick succession. Cautious curiosity at your explanation, and then blank, undisguised shock at Cameron's comment. A tomato slice slid off of Elio's half-assembled burger, and without looking, Percy held out one of his 2 plates to catch it. You asked? Like, in a conversation? Wait, now I need to double check. Jamie, as in Porter. Percy lowered his voice to a whisper, and Cameron hesitated before nodding. You and your roommate twisted around to look at them with quizzical expressions. Since when did you know Jamie Porter? Well, I mean, we've talked. I don't know if we're friends, but I see him around campus sometimes. That was unexpected. Cameron had told you before that prior to meeting you and Deja, they'd kept their heads in their books. Driving to and fro from school, with barely a thought for social interaction. But now it was coming out that they did know someone else on campus. Did that mean Jamie was in the same program as you? Or did Cameron have some extracurriculars they hadn't told you about? Huh? Percy glanced at Elio, and Elio glanced at Percy. A look passed between them, reminding you of the way you, Deja, and Cam sometimes communicated with your expressions alone. Don't get us wrong, that's totally fine. We're just surprised, that's all. Yeah, no offense, but Jamie hasn't made another friend since we met him. We thought he didn't know how. Oh gosh, that's so funny. It's so sad. Well, that's a little... Yeah, I can't say I haven't thought that sometimes. Not the sociable type? Let's put it that way, sure. But if you two already know him, want to eat together? Yes! Cameron balked a little, but Deja pressed a drink cup and a napkin into their hand, taking the chance to give them a small, encouraging smile. Sure, yeah, if you don't mind. Why not? Sweet. Percy, is that enough food? Oh shit, hang on, let me just... You are loaded up and clear of the tables in a few more minutes, chatting idly as Percy led you on a long, circuitous route around the yard. Thanks to the absolute abundance of food, people barely paid you any attention, and so you wound all the way back to the riverbank. It turned out The out-of-the-way spot was the fire pit. The long branches of the willow tree cast fluttering shadows over the 2 chairs there, one of which was already occupied. It's Jamie! Hi! Jamie, glad you made it. Cameron bounced forward with uncharacteristic ease, and Jamie tipped his head to one side, his eyes gaining the faintest of twinkles. They are besties! He didn't quite smile, and in fact, as Percy ambled over to drop a plate into his hands, he even dared to frown. What's this? Exactly what you asked me for, whatever I'm having. Percy dropped down to balance himself on the armchair of Jamie's seat, and Elio settled on the edge of the fire pit with a soft chuckle. You and your friends arranged yourself almost in a mirror image, though Cameron sat on the grass so they could use the fire pit's stone border as a table. Deja tucked herself cross-legged into the remaining chair, and you turned sideways to sit on the arm. So, we hear you've got some friends you want to introduce to us. Where? Oh, not where! Jamie blinked, and when he didn't give up the joke, Percy rolled his eyes and stabbed his fork into a chunk of grilled chicken. Never mind. I was going to make you introduce us to Cameron and Sunny. That sounds unnecessary, but hello. He nodded to Deja, and she lifted her drink in a tiny toast before taking a sip. Hi, Deja. She, her. I know you already. Sure. They left it at that, and as you tucked into your meals, Deja changed the subject, tapping her fork thoughtfully against her plate. Elio, you go to a lot of campus events, don't you? Yeah, but how'd you know? I just remembered who you are, and the SG, we call you Galileo. You're the one who draws stars all over your feedback forms. Oh, that's so cute. Aww. What? I fill out the rest of the forms too. You don't have to defend yourself, man. I never do them. I can't with Percy. Deja fixed Percy with a cool look, and Cameron coughed into their fist. Deja's on the board. Oh, I mean, I'm so very looking forward to filling out the form later. In your defense, those forms are really long. Remind me to look over your shoulder later when we're handing those out. You retreat into your plate with a sheepish mumble, and Jamie chooses then to reach over, sliding a patty and a half of a bun onto Elio's plate. Ooh, this is going straight into my quadruple decker. Flipping the new additions on top of his already teetering burger, Elio squished the whole thing together, ignoring the condiments that oozed over his fingers, and managed one massive bite. That's genuinely terrifying. I've seen him accomplish worse. Are you not that hungry? Jamie lifted a kebab using his fork to push the skewered components free. I'm usually a light eater, as Percy knows. Again, you tell me to get you what I'm getting, I get you what I'm getting. Percy spoke with a hand to his mouth, shielding you all from any social mishaps as he finished chewing. Once he was done, he pointed his emptied skewer, flicking it between Jamie and Cameron. And hey, don't think you're not explaining how you know each other. The public wants to know. I definitely want to know. It's me, I'm the public. What a coincidence, I'm also the public. My middle name is in fact the public. What's the story? You were curious, but you weren't going to add any more pressure. I mean, I do want to know if you're okay with telling. Yeah, my middle name is in fact the public. What's the story? Cameron pressed their lips together, picking at the tab of the canned drink they set aside. It's really not that much to talk about. They looked at Jamie, and he shrugged lightly, contributing the barest of explanations. Bake sale, second year. Well, that narrows it down to approximately a full year of bake sales if your paperwork is right. Have fun figuring out which one it was. All I figured out so far is you're both third-year students. Jamie and Cameron nodded, and Deja twirled her fingers to indicate everyone else. And the rest of us are all second years? Yep, astrophysics major. Oh, really? Biology, trying to minor in math. Why? Urban and environmental planning. Okay. And Cam and I are both poli-sci, but Cam is also majoring in philosophy. Philosophy? Percy, isn't that your current bet? Sure is. The two of them looked pointedly at Jamie, who calmly took another bite of salad. Maybe that's how they met. I'm not telling. Why? What's your major, Jamie? He won't tell us. We literally live with him, and we still don't know. Seriously? But look at him, he's so happy. You weren't sure which half of that to focus on. The fact that these three were roommates, or the sudden emphasis on the mystery that was Jamie Porter. Okay, first and foremost, the fact that all of the love interests are roommates could lead to some messy situations if I start dating one of them after flirting with all of them. Also, I love that they're in height order. Jamie's the tallest, then Percy, and then Elio. Aw, my short king. If I had to guess, I'd say some kind of engineering. Pre-med track? He shook his head twice in a row. Let's see. Is the right answer here or no? What do I think Jamie does? Communications, business, sports management, architecture, biology, theater, forensic science, linguistics. I think it's either architecture or linguistics. Architecture? Nope, dang. He says that every time. We'll get him one of these days. Can't you just look at his homework or... By now, the megaphone's whine and crackle was a familiar sound, and as the music dimmed, Raina hopped up onto her porch with a smile and a wave. Hey all, hope everyone's having a fun time. When her backyard erupted into cheers, Raina giggled and curled a lock of her hair behind her ear. Glad to hear it. I have an announcement to make. As you know, I'm your SGB president, and thus it may surprise none of you to hear that today's party is a test run for a new yearly event. Welcome to the Student Government Scavenger Hunt. Murmurs swept through the crowd, and heads turned back and forth as people tried to guess where the game would take place. Drinks, snacks, and lawn games were scattered all over the place by now. It was impossible to tell whether anything was hidden amidst the clutter. If you're busy eating or chilling out, feel free to keep doing that. But I'm pleased to say we have a prize up for grabs, set aside from our funding for this year. You can form teams of up to 3, and the prize will be evenly split. Be the first to bring me all the items on our list and you'll win $500. The silence collapsed instantly into a storm of whoops, howls, and downright feral screeches. In the chaos, you traded glances with Deja and Cameron. It was time. You know what we must do? Yes, we must win! Not if we find everything first. Elio grinned widely, looking at the three of you as he made a questioning gesture. You nodded in return, and he leaned quickly across the fire pit, stacking everyone's empty plates and cups before hopping up to find a trash can. While he scampered off, Percy stood to stretch leisurely, tugging at a lock of Jamie's hair and scuttling aside to avoid a light swat. Oh my gosh. They sound so domestic and cute. I love them all. Well, well, well. Looks like we'll be bitter rivals for a little bit. It looks that way, yes. And just like that, the gauntlet was thrown. Elio had shown his competitive spirit during the volleyball game, but now that a cash prize was on the line, it was his turn to see how driven Deja could be. Strategy D? We split up, divide and conquer. Who's gonna go with? Teams, get ready. Your targets are a chickadee plushie, a school t-shirt, and a flag with the board's initials on it. And it starts now. And Raina lifted an air horn with her other hand, effectively muting any attempts to formulate a plan with a long, ear-splitting honk. Elio pelted away at once while Percy pulled Jamie from his chair and ushered him in another direction. You glanced at your friends. You had mere seconds to decide how you do this. We search, then we meet by the back porch, Sonny. Let's see. I'm going to save, because I've learned my lesson. Okay, we're gonna search in front of the house. I'll go out front. Then I'll go inside. Cam, you've got the yard. They bounce up and down on the balls of their feet, all their wallflower inclinations pushed aside for the chance to scramble, scoot, and search. Go get 'em, Tiger. For money! Cameron sprints off and Deja gave you a quick salute, then spun to stalk towards the back door. You turned and jogged past the porch, through the gate, and onto the front lawn. Some students were already here, roaming the porch and peeking carefully through the hedges and hydrangeas. You went further, stopping by Cameron's parked car as you scoped the place out. There wasn't much else here. The garage door was firmly shut and the grass was mowed too short to hide anything in. Your eyes wandered along the driveway towards the neighboring houses. Percy! Personally, I think we should start breaking into cars. You know, I'm down for a little B&E. The enemy? Shoot, be gone. Harsh. Weren't we just getting along back there? You leaned to look around the side of the car and Percy went on tiptoes to peek over the top. Students straggled away from the hedges with dirty knees and disappointed frowns. Some seemed to be contemplating how to get into the garage, and another few went through the front door to search inside. With a shake of your head, you stepped onto the sidewalk. You might find an overlooked spot if you thought quickly, but you'd have to do it with a certain someone trailing your every step. Oh God. What are you doing? I'm making sure you're not pulling one over on me. Uh-huh, and why? I literally just found out your friend's on the SG board. What am I gonna do? Not check all the places you do? With a stifled chuckle, you ducked your head a little, feeling a fizz of amusement that lightened your steps. Hate to disappoint, but Raina made extra sure Deja wouldn't have a single advantage. Sure. Or you're trying to throw me off. Sorry, buddy, but I'm not letting you out of my sight. You shrugged, and Percy grinned before crouching abruptly to check under the closest car. That wasn't actually a bad idea, but you held off on copying him. Instead, you reached out to flick the letter flag on Raina's mailbox, then opened it to glance inside. It was stuffed full of tiny maroon flags, each one triangle-shaped and made of coarse fabric. They were rolled up, but you saw bits of the letters emblazoned on each one. SGB. Yes! No fucking way. Get it! Before Percy was fully back on his feet, you jammed your hand into the mailbox, grabbed a handful of flags, and bolted. What? Oh, you're shitting me. You were halfway across the lawn when you heard the mailbox slam shut, and over your shoulder you spotted Percy charging after you, clutching some flags of his own. Oh God. Lucky for you, you had quite the head start, but he was hot on your heels and closing in fast. I'm saving. Oh my gosh. I'm not losing to Percy. Oh no! Yes! You get back here. No! With the barest whiff of motion was all the warning you needed. You threw yourself into a sharp turn and Percy swiped at the space where you'd just been as you sprinted onward. As you barreled through the gate, you caught a glimpse of Deja and Cameron on the porch. It was up to you. Oh God! I will not lose! Can I do it though? Yes! And so, with a burst of speed, you sprinted between the tables and leapt recklessly onto the porch, skidding to a halt in front of Raina with your bounty held high. Got it. The second time. And that's game over. Raina raised her air horn overhead and gave it two merry, blaring beeps. Cameron wheeled on you with a whooping, and even Deja threw her arms up with a singular scream of delight. Yes! The sheer volume of Deja's victory screech knocked you and Cameron into a bout of hysterical laughter, and even Raina struggled to keep a straight face as she held up a sealed envelope. All right, I guess since you've earned it, your spoils. The envelope was open as soon as it met Deja's hands, and as she danced down the porch steps, she pulled out a handful of crisp bills, slapping them straight into Cameron's hand. The rest went up into the sky to flutter down over our heads. Deja laughed more giddily than you'd ever heard her, and you couldn't help but join in. Oh my gosh, look at us! We got a CG! Oh my gosh, look at Cameron. We are having so much fun. I love this. Boo! At least be humble about it. Shut up, loser. Can't hear you. Busy gloating. Gloating, bragging, rejoicing. All of the above. Percy, Jamie, and Elio stood to one side, watching with various degrees of amusement as you transitioned from jumping and screaming to picking up all the bills off the ground. Somehow, I thought $500 would be like a lot more than this. It's all in larger denominations. It all perfectly spendable, of course. And ooh, are we gonna spend it? I'm buying you both cars. We're gonna have matching cars. But you give us rides all the time. I don't hate giving you rides, but I'll say it again, matching cars. What about parking or the environment? We have a decent transit system. That's actually the problem with most cities. Okay, Deja, shush. All right, I get it. Cameron threw a hand up in defeat, fanning themselves huffily with their handful of prize money. We'll buy you a city instead, one close by so we can visit. I didn't even know it was possible to debate this much over prize money. Your fiercest rivals of the day strolled closer with varying degrees of enthusiasm. Elio chuckled as he looked peaceably between you and your friends. I would have just put it into savings, I think. Same. Or you'd be ordering takeout. Congrats on the win. I'm still not convinced it's a fair win, but shut up, Percy. If I'd known from the start, I wouldn't have let you tail me at all. Fair point. The adrenaline of the scavenger hunt wore away at last, and as all of you slipped into casual banter, Deja looked down at the refilled envelope in her hands with pursed lips. I should recount all of this, actually. Yeah, I think there's some grass in there now, too. Wanna sit? Then finally, the festivities began to wind down. Evening crept closer, and lights strung through the yard flickered on to replace the dwindling sunlight. Comforted by the softness of the spring breeze, you stretched out your legs on the lawn, leaning back onto your hands as you listened to the conversations around you. You mind if I hand your share out later? Yeah, there's no rush. In the car, maybe? Cameron reappeared and flopped down next to you, having disappeared to spirit an entire stack of fully packed Tupperware into their car. Yes, if you are going to an event while you are an undergrad and there is food, bring Tupperware, always. I always had Tupperware in my backpack, always, because every event is an opportunity for food later. We're all set, but I'm good to keep hanging out. I told my parents they didn't have to wait up. It's been a lot. I wouldn't mind a little more time off my feet. Deja rolled her head slowly back and forth, and gravity pulled her braids back as she stretched. You took her cue to relax, and as you scanned the gradually emptying yard, you felt your shoulders sloping down with the weight of a day well spent. It'd been more fun than you expected, and you'd met some new people through a series of coincidences that strung you all together here, below the willow tree in Raina's backyard. Somehow, by a handful of chance events, you'd ended up with 3 new acquaintances and a collection of new colorful memories. You couldn't help but wonder what was next. So, what are you guys doing after this? Well, we're definitely not about to steal that prize money from you. Okay, Elio. How do I know you're not in cahoots with each other? I would never cahoot. A likely story. Oh my gosh, that expression is so cute. I just want to pinch his cheeks. No. I gotta come clean, Purse. You're right. We were cahooting. With Elio's help withdrawn, Percy made a harmless pass at the envelope, still in Deja's lap, and she brushed his hand away with a flick of her wrist. Laughter rippled through your group, and Elio leaned away from his roommate as Percy rolled his eyes and smacked him in the arm. Do you three live nearby? Sunny and I are on campus. Cam commutes from further out. That's cool. We're on campus most of the time too. Kinda weird we haven't run into each other at other events before. Well, it was just Elio early on. This is kinda new for us too. But it's been fun hanging out. It'd be dope if we kept in touch for, the next party or whatever comes up. Aw, new friends. Elio dug his phone out of his pocket, unlocked it, and held it out. After a beat, a bit of self-conscious hesitation entered his posture, and he smiled a little nervously as his arm lowered. Take the phone and put your number in. I mean, only if you're down for it. No pressure, seriously. So he said, but giving your number to Elio? Yeah. I think it's cool to have a new friend. He was a sweetheart, from the way he treated new friends to the way he treated his old ones. He'd already been charming from the start, and your impression of that hadn't changed in the least. Sure, no problem. Reaching out, you quickly added your number to Elio's contacts, then handed his phone to Deja to continue the exchange. Guess we'll be seeing a lot more of each other then. You think so? When Elio says that he wants to make plans, he usually makes good on them. And those plans all involve you? Oh, they've got to. I'm his favorite. Really? The prospect of hanging out with Percy more was... exciting, embarrassing. You had a tiny crush on him and hoped he wouldn't notice. Ooh, I don't know. That one. Somehow, he set you at ease despite his propensity for flirty jokes. Seeing him with his friends had only reinforced your growing curiosity about him. You wanted to get along with him just as well, if not better. While numbers were traded, you noticed Jamie sitting quietly back. He didn't seem intent on joining in, but it was easy to guess why. You couldn't imagine the campus boyfriend giving out his contact info quite so freely, but Percy leaned against him with a quiet question, and he didn't refuse right away. His faith in his friends seemed to buoy his doubts, and he nodded a little, granting silent permission for his number to be included in the group chat. Oh my gosh! This seemed like the most you could expect from him. As unlikely as it seemed, you did hope you could be friends with him. That was lucky for you, or maybe unlucky. You already knew you had a little crush on him. I'm gonna go with the friend route with Jamie. You could understand how he didn't want to be the center of attention, and you were fine with that. Hopefully you'd have the chance to make better friends with him whenever he felt he could let his guard down. Almost as soon as Elio had his phone back, your phone pinged with a new text. Hey guys! Oh, we're in a group chat! Oh, this is so cute! So this is, the other number is Deja, I guess. Oh gosh. Jamie, you have to say something so they know which number is yours. Oh, this is the croissant! What up, gamers? Hey! We should play 3-on-3 volleyball next time. Bring it on. Keep that enthusiasm for the next time. I'll have to convince them to go along with it. Aww. I love this. We got everybody's numbers in our phone. Okay, where's the group chat? Oh, here it is. Aww. I love that we can text. The texting continued into the night well after Cameron drove the two of you back to your apartment. There were a few hiccups here and there as everyone got used to each other's texting styles. At least the mistakes along the way were easy fodder for inside jokes. But bit by bit, the lulls between messages got longer, and as sleepiness set in, your mind wandered to the unlikeliness of the day's events. You'd met them by chance, in quick succession thanks to one event. It would have been so easy to have never crossed their paths. If you had been a fraction of a second later, or if you'd not gone to the party at all, Maybe you'd already be asleep by now. There was a part of you that couldn't help but indulge in a little bit of fanciful imagination, and before you slipped away to dream, your heart fluttered at the thought of him. One day, just one, and the picture had changed completely. Who knew what tomorrow would bring? Okay, that was so much fun. I'm finally glad that I got to meet Elio, because that was the part that I was missing. I met Jamie, I met Percy. I love them. And I also love Elio. I really like all of the love interests in Keyframes. They're all so sweet. This is such a fun story. And I want to see how it plays out as we continue. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I hope you all had fun. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And I'll catch you guys next time. All right, y'all. Bye.